Back to winning ways. Arsenal 3, Burnley 1. Now, if it was, easy, we wouldn't be Arsenal Football Club. Again, I'm happy that we've reacted to the Newcastle game with getting 3 points. I'm happy we've reacted to last week, which was terrible. And obviously, we've had a better week this week going into the international break and get great spirits. We've got a tough run from now to the end of the year, and we're going to need to be up for the fight. Now, obviously, it's been a 4-goal thriller. We won 3-1. The thick of it, not really too much to talk about. One-way traffic. Now, if I start with the negatives, if there is any, obviously Fabio Vieira's got himself sent off. Martinelli pulled up with cramp. Benjamin White weren't in the squad, and we'll be here all day talking about Arsenal sort of injury crisis. So we can't afford for any players not to be there. And I'm pretty sure Fabio Vieira was shown a straight red, and another player that's not available. Already a thin squad. Now it's being demanded on. Certain teams in North London can't get nothing at home with 9 men on the pitch. We're not one of them. So, yeah, man, we reacted to the Newcastle game. We got back to winning ways. We scored 3 goals. We had about 14, 15 corners, really. And we scored from about 2 of them. Indirectly, Zinchenko's bicycle, kung fu, scissor kick, whatever the fullback did, it was wavy from Zinchenko. He got one from a set piece. Saliba got us back in it as well. Trossard, Bossart, he needs to start. He needs a run of form. Got a goal and assist. And, I think Saka and Martinelli need to ask Trossard how he delivers consistently great crosses. Trossard was lovely. We all know when Trossard is in the team, I do think there'll be games for Eddie to play up front. Don't get it twisted. But I think Trossard needs an extended run. I think there's a lot in a team that, in my opinion, in the final third, even today to a degree, it's a bit scripted, it's a bit predictable, it's a bit lethargic. We're not really doing what we need to do in the final third. I think Trossard's provided a spark with him. There's more fluidity, things that Eddie might take 5 touches, Trossard can do in 2. And I think his relationship with Saka, Saka's assisted all his goals as an Arsenal man, and with Martinelli and indirectly the midfielders, I think it gives us a lot more fluidity. It's what we need to kind of do, in my opinion, at this moment in time. If I'm completely honest, it's nice that, I think Burnley's Trafford had a great game, if I'm honest with you. Unlike against Nick Pope and Newcastle, it was lovely to see that we're actually making the keeper have to make some saves. For a large part of the game, though, there was that little own goal-esque borderline that it could have been, where Trafford saved his teammate. Saka and Trossard went close. In that regards as well, I still think we could do better with chance creation and indirectly chance conversion. I'm waiting for us to score in the Premier League within the first 15 minutes. I still would like a clean sheet, and I think we should have kept one. Tomiyasu had a decent game, but he got cooked. And I think, even in the build up to that was quite terrible from us. I don't think we started the second half. Literally the first 5 minutes of that second half, Burnley reacted with a bit more fire in their bellies, and I think we not that we struggled, but I think that was one of our worst periods. Obviously, we got the first goal just before half time, so it shows you that maybe we have to cut teams open a lot more. But we know teams are going to sit off us. They're going to be rigid. They're going to be compact. And I do think our build-up play plays into their hands, but there is an element of patience that we need before we break a team down. I was impressed with Burnley. On another day, I think you could get something, not from us, because this is, you get me, Arsenal Football Club, but I think they defended when they needed to. I think they showed us respect in the right areas. I think, when they needed to be brave, they needed to be brave. I think Raya had a good game and deserved a clean sheet. He made 2 big saves early on. One where Saliba's not clearance, but kind of tackle led to an indirect chance. I think Raya's distribution, and that was great. So I think Burnley were decent. And obviously the goals come from their winger on the left-hand side. Calusho, forgive me for mispronunciation, where he's cooked Tomiyasu. I think their number 25, Adoni, I think he was a bright spot for them in the second half. He was winning fouls, he was taking people on. Other than that, I think we turned up to the floor, really. With it being Tomiyasu, Saka, and Kai Havertz, that's not our first choice right-hand side connections. We knew he was going to be a bit more stronger on the left-hand side with Zinchenko, with Declan Rice in that 8 role, who had a great game, with Martinelli, who also had a good game. I think in the first half, Trossard was more playing as a striker and peeling out to the left. I think he was more doing everything in the second half and had a great game in both, and deserves his start, really, and deserves more minutes. And it's making me think, obviously, it's probably premature to talk about Brentford, but going into the Brentford game, do you drop Kai Havertz? And provided he's able to play, because he bust his head, big up Trossard and Jorginho, they put their lives on the line. But against Brentford, could it be worth putting Trossard in the 10? If Gabriel Jesus was fit, for example, if he's back after the international break, Jesus in the 10, Gabriel Jesus in the Gabriel Jesus up front, Trossard in the 10, Jorginho and Rice behind them, Saka and Martinelli either flank, really, because I did think we needed a lot more from Kai Havertz. I do think it's another positive step, small step in the right direction for Kai Havertz. I think he was one of our better players in our defeat against West Ham. I think he did okay against Newcastle, and I think he did all right today. But it's another game where it seems like everyone's on another level. You're stuck wanting more. You know, I think he was a bit slow and nonchalant at times in the final third in comparison to a lot of his teammates, especially because there was times Burnley looked a bit nervous when defending the ball in their area, really. I don't think Trossard was poor, but it's just another game you want a bit more. So I think on the balance of things, of course, it's the same old thing. We need to be able to create and convert chances and maybe start with a bit more intent. We need to stop conceding cheap goals, even though this is football. You are going to make mistakes. You are going to concede. I think this was a game for a clean sheet, if I'm completely honest. But other than that, decent performance. For me, Trossard and Zinchenko had a bloody good game, and he deserves his goal, really, if I'm honest with you, because I think he was very good today. Very good, back to his best. And he was actually great defensively, really and truly. You know, and he looks like he's taking Aaron Ramsdale's place in that you're the guy that's a bit of the passion merchant with the fans. Nice to see Saka get an assist. Couldn't believe the amount of headers Saka won today. Lovely bravery from the goal from Trossard. I did fear the worst because I watching the game again, it looked like his elbow hit the post or something, but you know, it was bravery. That was one where Trossard knew I'm probably going to get hurt here, but temporary pain for long-term gain, innit? You get us off to a good start. And the way Burnley were playing, I don't think they were just sitting on the counter. They were trying to match us where they could and respect us where they could. Games like that, you want to get the first goal because the longer the game goes on, the more nervy it is, the more they might hold on. The more you get, the quicker you get a goal, the more their game plan kind of goes out the window, if I'm completely honest with you. As I said, I think going into halftime, we did all right. But the second half, the first kind of few moments set the tempo. They did put a spanner in our works with the equaliser, but I like the fact that we instantly retaliated. It's a lovely delivery from Trossard and an equally as good header from Saliba. Again, I'm not a Premier League footballer or a coach or anything like that. These men know football more than me, but in Sunday League, you're taught to take the man off the keeper. I don't care because I'm an Arsenal fan and I benefited from it. But Saliba's just standing on Trafford, the goalie. Like, fair enough, you're playing into our hands. Obviously, it's nice to get a bit of breathing space with the third goal as well, people. Zinchenko, lovely. It makes us sleep a bit easier. Obviously, Fabio sent off. It makes it a bit more difficult. I don't know at this moment in time as to why El Nene wasn't allowed on the field. You know, when Jorginho's head got bust, we had to play with 9 players. I don't want to be that guy, but I do think we should have had a pen, really, because fair enough, the goal was disallowed. Well, Gabriel's foul, Joe Linton's foul on Gabriel wasn't given. Fair enough. In this game, in the first half, nothing came of it, if I can remember correctly. But Saka, they've said Saka's pushed. Saka's pushed him. Fair enough. Great stuff. In the second half, Gabriel was pushed by the same amount of force and almost an identical thing, and nothing's given of it. So we'll do our head in looking for consistency in that regards, people. But business as usual, really. It's a bit weird because I can't really sit here with our team scoring 3 goals and say we're not clinical, but I think we can do. I think we scored goals at important times, just on the stroke of half time with Trossard, the last 15 minutes for Zinchenko, in and around the hour mark, really, for Saliba's goal as well. We had 16 shots, 6 on target, and for the 6 on target, we got 3 goals. So what I'm saying probably doesn't even hold weight today. Burnley, as I said, they gave a good account of themselves. They had 8 shots, 5 on target. In the first half, they actually probably had better chances than us at a point in the first half. They had 36% of possession ending the game. We had 64%. We knew we'd win that battle. Big up Burnley because it is a new look Burnley side. We made 553 passes to their 327. We had 13 corners to their 3. Obviously, this moves us up to second with them lot down the road, losing it in the last few moments against Wolves. Don't get twisted. They're the best thing since sliced bread, and they need to win the league. Everything they said about Arsenal last season, I once said about them. So yeah, man, I'm kind of comfortable with what happened. As I said, of course, I would like a clean sheet. As I said, big up Burnley, man. I think it became early in the first half. You could see we're going to have to be a bit patient. They're narrow, they're compact, they're limiting the space, they're forcing us to play in front. As I said, I wanted a bit more from out of the 3 in midfield. I think Rice, you're doing what Rice does, isn't it? I wanted a bit more from Jorginho on the ball because that's his strength. And you saw how he was playing midweek in the champs. I think he could have done better in that regards. Havertz, I just want to see something a bit better, if I'm honest with you. So yeah, man, as I said, at a point in the first half, it like we were smelling blood, and it's like in a nice way, 20 minutes on, we was getting a bit frustrated. We're smelling blood. We're starting to be a bit higher. We're playing with the ball in their box. It's a lot of foreplay, not necessarily penetration in that regards. And I did want us to do it because I felt that, they looked like they could gift us a goal, really. I think Saka was good in the first half. really and truly. But it's the same mode in that at halftime, I wanted us to just come out and play with a lot higher tempo, a lot more intensity, a lot more inventiveness as well, because it can become a bit scripted how we're playing. I do think Burnley remained competitive throughout, and I'm sure Brownhill scored against us at the Emirates a few years ago. Lightning almost struck twice, really. And I was thinking, I did think we'd win, but at 1-1, I was thinking, oh, is it going to be one of them days, really? Am I going to have to eat humble pie? Because immediately after Spurs lost, people, I was giving my Spurs supporting friends hell, really. So, yeah, man, it's nice to score for all the set pieces we got, even though we could do a lot better. And that's a good thing, really. If I'm saying set pieces, we maybe could have scored more. We've scored 3 goals. I still think we could have created and scored more and put Trafford under even more trouble. But as I said, it's a step in the right direction after our last Premier League game. We've had a good week. It's been a better week than it was last week. Hopefully the players that are fit are not injured and stuff like that. And people that are injured can return after the international break. And, we can take a second to breathe and go again, really, because it's a difficult fight to the end of the year. Our next game in the Prem is we're playing them now. Brentford away from home, 5:30 on Saturday, 25th of November. That is not an easy game. And I'm kind of frustrated with Fabio Vieira getting sent off, because you might be someone we need to call for from the bench in a game like that, really. So, yeah, people, that's all I've got to say in this 4-goal thriller. Once again, Arsenal 3, Burnley 1. Let me know your thoughts. Like, comment, subscribe. Don't get away without using any of them. Stay safe, stay blessed. I'm out.
Because you always use that active when defending. I think it's like